Lee, if you had any hair left, you'd probably be pulling it out right now with the recent performances. Is that fair to say?
Thanks very much, mate. Listen, performances have been excellent. They have been excellent. Frustrating at times, yeah, obviously. We want to score more goals, but the performances have been excellent, and we continue performing like that, then things will turn, like we said, straight after the game. But that's credit to the full squad of players that are training their hearts out day in, day out, and pushing each other for starting positions in the team, and that's transferring over to the performances on the pitch on a Saturday.
Would it be fair to say the first 45 minutes last week is probably as good a performance since you walked in the door?
Yeah, that's up there. That's up there, especially with like Raith Rovers last year, or even Dunfermline performance. That's got to be up there. I think starting on the front foot. I think most people, well, especially since I come in January, the home form's sort of been a bit up and down. So I think it was important to start off on the front foot on Saturday, and we did that, and we really put them under pressure. And let's be right, if we had taken the chances that we created, we could have been 3 or 4 up.
And presumably it is just a case of waiting for the one to fall in front of goal.
It'll come, yeah. Full confidence in the boys that are playing up there, because they are creating the chances. And it'll take maybe a ricochet or somebody's shin or something to go in, but as soon as that turns, it'll come. Don't worry about that. We're not getting overly stressed about it. We're not getting worried, and we're not putting pressure on boys. Listen, they're good footballers. So we've got the utmost respect for these boys that are playing in it, and they'll get the goals. They'll get the goals, no problem.
Different kind of test on Friday up at Queen's Park, a team newly promoted, quite ambitious as well. What kind of test do you anticipate? Listen,
they've got a good experienced manager in there who was actually a teammate of mine in the past, and he's obviously had good success wherever he's been, to be honest with you, whether it be over in India, down south, up here in Scotland. He knows the game inside out, and has obviously made 2 or 3 really good signings. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. They'll have the momentum of being a winning team from last season, coming up into the Championship. They got a great result up at Inverness. Not many teams go up there and get anything. So off the back of that, it's going to be a really tough game. But if we play like we did on Saturday, we'll give them a good test as well.
You know, speaking of the good performances and how they're improving, and Dick Campbell as well said that he's looked like a completely different side this year. What's that down to, and do you think that with those performances you're starting to hope to see an actual change in the scoreline starting this Friday?
It's simply down to hard work over pre-season and belief amongst each other as players, and a trust in each other as a group of players as well. Also backed up by the fact that the boys that currently have the shirts know that if they down tools or have an off game, there's somebody just desperately waiting behind them to take their position, so they're pushing each other all the time in training. We had a brilliant reserve performance yesterday up at St Mirren, so all these boys are fully match fit and ready to go should the current starting team go off the boil a little bit.
Nick, do you feel that competitiveness right now in the training ground?
Yeah, I think you've seen it for the start of pre-season. Everyone's been working really hard, and it's a really good togetherness within the squad. It's not like bad blood or anything like that. Everyone's pushing each other just to get the best out of each other, and you really do feel it in training. An extra standard kind of goes up because you want to keep that shut, and vice versa, the boy behind you wants to take that shot off you.
And what are your personal sort of goals for this season going ahead?
Well, I think just from last season, obviously going out on loan, I want to play here and I want to play as many games as I can and try to help the team in that sense. But again, you've got that competitive nature in the dressing room where someone could take the shot off you, so it pushes you even further to just keep going and just try to be better every week.
Excellent. Lee, it's safe to say some of the goals are missing right now. Are you looking to maybe bring in some extra people up forward before the window shuts?
I think we'd like to add another couple of faces to the squad before the window closes, but not necessarily striker. Potentially could be a striker, could be a winger, could be a defender. Listen, we're looking whatever supplements the squad, whatever improves the squad, whatever pushes the players that are currently in pole position. That's what we'll look at. But we won't bring players in just for the sake of it. They have to come in and potentially be an improvement in what we have, and that's difficult to find at the moment because we're really happy with the group we've got in place. But the more you stand still, the more you go backwards. So we're always looking.
Excellent. And how are the feelings overall just for Friday night? Does having that game a wee bit earlier allow for a bit more rest following it?
Yeah, potentially it gives an opportunity to give the players a couple of days off after it, and it'd be nice to get the 3 points up and running and watch the rest of the results come in. But I'm sure Owen Cole's thinking the exact same thing. So Friday night games I really like under the lights. It's It'll be a little bit different because it's Stenhousemuir and not Queen's own pitch, but I don't know, maybe you can correct me. I believe they've had the AstroTurf replaced. Mm-hmm. They have? Yeah. Good. So it's a brand new surface up there, which is great, and that'll suit us as well. We've got good footballing players in there, so we're really looking forward to it.
Nick, do you prefer a Friday night game or a Saturday game?
I think you just prefer playing any game, but no, Friday nights are good. We had a couple of good ones last year, and under the lights you can't really complain.
Excellent, thank you.
Nick, you were just talking about going away to Clyde on loan last year. How did you face that, and how has it improved you as a player?
I think just for myself, kind of being at the age I am, I need to be playing regular football. That was kind of my aim for coming here when I first signed, and it just wasn't happening at that time. So spoke to the gaffer, and it was just kind of a mutual thing to go out and loan and play. And I think that's probably helped me towards the end, coming into this season, coming into pre-season, was that I had that regular game time behind my back, so I wasn't coming in sluggish or whatever coming into a new season. So I think it really did benefit me. Okay,
you got the Man of the Match award on Saturday as well. What does that mean to you?
No, it means a lot. I mean, I've put in a lot of work over pre-season and before I came in, so it's good to see it's paying off, but it's just one game. There's still how many more to go in the season, you know what I mean? So just got to get my head down and keep working.
I remember when I talked to you, I think it was last season, beginning of last season, you talked about you had a flexibility of position, and you're playing much more in back four or whatever it becomes. You still have that ability to play a midfield role as well?
I mean, yeah, I've got the ability to play in a certain amount of roles. It does sometimes hinder you, that kind of versatility role, but after speaking to the gaffer, I feel this year maybe play more as a defender, play more my natural position in the back.
Thanks very much.
Nick, just on the loan thing, despite being out, you remained a big part of the squad set up last season. Was that a conscious decision you took, to remain a big part around the dressing room?
I don't think it was a conscious decision. That's just my kind of character. I'm not one for downing tools or throwing in the towel. There was nothing bad-blooded about me going on loan. Mm-hmm. And listen, I was training here every day that I could, so why would I come in with my head tripping me? And letting that show in front of the boys, that's not going to help them. It's not going to help myself for coming in this season. So just had to keep going and just training properly.
And you've obviously got good competition with Jordan, for that right back slot, but you've made a great start to keep the jersey.
Hey, listen, I've made a good start, but that means nothing, you know what I mean? It's a good competitive changing room we've got, good bunch of boys. The changing room, probably one of the best changing rooms I've been in, just in relation to just boys can talk to each other, but we can also give each other a bit of stick, so I don't see any bad bloodness in it. Again, it's just more of a pushing each other, just go through, and I know if I don't perform, Hoosty's there, vice versa.
Lee, you said, I think at the end of the last match that horses were courses sometimes, and we're onto a different surface again. You just mentioned the fact that it was an artificial turf this time. Is there a chance that we're going to see some changes in personnel for Friday's game?
There's always a chance you can see. We look at the opposition we're up against, we look at the surfaces we're playing, everything like that. You can get a little knock in training, so there's always a chance there could be a change, but yeah, my cards are not shown.